when I see Putin and Modi embracing, but then you look at the NATO summit and you see Biden with his future, like, hour to hour, whether or not he's going to be president potentially. You see the replacement, the new prime ministers coming in England and France. You see a situation where the core, Western countries are, in very kind of uncertain terrain, and yet they're pressing forward with this very hostile, kind of must defeat Russia, no peace agreement to be had kind of mindset, right? Like, we're going to defeat Russia and repel them from Ukraine. Personally, I don't think that's realistic. I don't think Donald Trump thinks that's really realistic. And he's talking about it, right? He's going to come when he.
I would guess the American people don't think it's realistic. I mean, forgive me for interrupting. I don't know if I think that, the latest on The Economist is that the odds of Donald Trump winning, at least vis-a-vis Biden, and as we speak, like that could change next minute. We might be going to breaking news. Who knows? But when Clooney's out, I don't know. Like, it's game over, buddy. So we'll see what happens on that front. But right now the odds are 74% on The Economist, right? And then the betting odds, et cetera, that Donald Trump will win, which I think represents in some ways this, again, as we talk about these changes, these fundamental changes on a global scale, would obviously be a pretty big deal for the West as well, Rob.
Yeah, and I had a chance to read that platform that the Trump campaign, that sort of draft platform of the Republican Party platform, and he does emphasize protecting the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency, which I thought was kind of an interesting thing to highlight. He also talked a lot about crypto, defending crypto. Talked a lot about promoting AI. These are just elements. There was a lot in there, No, but
it's relevant, I think, as an investor, and it's critical as an investor to be thoughtful about the political landscape and realistic, right, about the political landscape.
Absolutely. And, when I think about these elections that are, the election in the United States, you think about the European elections, you don't hear about it much, but are the voters, do they want peace in Ukraine, right? Like right now, all of the incumbents who are being ejected, they're very hostile to, they want to pursue the war and, don't want a negotiated solution, and they're losing, I just don't know, like, in the lizard brain of voters around the world, are they saying maybe kind of pushing this to the brink of World War III isn't the best idea, and maybe we should try to figure out a path forward? That's my own personal, kind of pet theory,
still saving face, right? Because now we're out sort of over our skis.
Yeah. So, I think that,
I hate to think of it just being that, but you got to be, they say, be very, very careful, right? If you're going to be in this battle, like, you want to be in it to win it. And now I think, and look, it's very hard to discern sort of reality from non-reality, but let me tell you, when they're growing at 3.5%, and the World Bank's like, okay, we got to upgrade the Russian economy. That just tells me that the pressure campaign, the economic financial pressure that the U.S. is trying to engage in, is somehow not working. So again, we just have to be realistic about what's really happening.
There was an article, I think it was today in the Wall Street Journal, talking about the Russians being able to figure out, like, how to get around our advanced missile systems and missile defense systems, right? And
it's going back to the basic stuff.
Yeah, and going back to just actually what works is just basic, munitions that have no technology to jam, right? No advanced technology. So it's like, we're fooling ourselves if we think this is like they're on the verge of withdrawing and we're going to defeat them and it's just going to escalate. And I think nobody wants that. I think voters don't want that. I don't want it personally. So, so when you think about if Trump does win, we're talking, his challenge is going to be to kind of rectify or to kind of pick up the pieces of this. We've pushed that part, the BRICS kind of community, that part of the world so far away, and to such a point of intense conflict. I think,
it has to be
maybe
managed.
A matter of,
listen, it does. It's a weakness for Biden, but I think Biden's been kind of checked out. dare I say, right, for the last 3.5 years. I think, if he can make it through the teleprompter read, it's a big day. So as sort of the ramification of that, if you would, he's leaving it to Blinken and others at state that, in my estimation, have underperformed as negotiators and have failed, frankly, to manage and contain some of these situations.